Well, I just realized how I used stress in my relationship to get what I wanted. I figured out that if I was stressed out, my girlfriend would usually tell me to go hang out with my friends, have a few beers, and blow off some steam. So that's exactly what I would do, especially if I knew my girlfriend wanted to spend time with me. I would act like I was stressed out so that hopefully she would tell me to go hang out with my friends. I would use this many times because typically when I acted stressed, the result was my girl telling me to go out with my friends, to relax, to go play golf. And so instead of being still and slowing down to find the underlying root of stress, I would hold on to the stress, and then in certain moments, I could easily stress myself out, and I would use it as a technique to get what I wanted, which was my girl telling me to get out of the house and go relax. So to me, it was always better to find ways to stay in stress because it usually resulted in my girlfriend telling me to go do something fun. I also used stress to get my girlfriend to leave me alone. It got to where I could specifically use it based on the situation to get the desired outcome I wanted. For example, if I wanted my girlfriend to leave me alone, I could act stressed about something like work and then create a slight annoyance directed at her. Then she knew right away to leave me alone. That way I could get what I wanted without having to risk her getting upset. Because the truth was, I didn't feel like talking to her, and I wanted her to leave me alone. It was the same with wanting to hang out with my friends. If I threw a touch of sadness or anger in with the stress, I knew she would tell me to go relax with my friends and blow off some steam. Depending on the setting and what was going on would determine whether I used sadness or anger. I would also use stress if I didn't feel like going somewhere with her, or wanted to avoid something that we had planned. Like if I didn't want to go to a wedding, for example, or out to dinner with her friends. I knew all I had to do was act stressed about work and then say I couldn't go and blame it on the stress. But I'd do it in a way where I was able to manipulate my girlfriend so that she would be the one who told me to stay home. I would keep taking the stress level up and up, but I would keep saying, no, it's fine, I'll go. And then she would finally say, you know what, I can tell you're stressed out. Why don't you just stay home and relax? So I would constantly play the victim to get what I wanted. Poor me, I'm so stressed out. I can't do that or this or that. All just to do what I actually felt like doing. Wow, I can't believe I did that. It's crazy how we operate to get what we want instead of just speaking our truth. And now I'm seeing other examples with my family. Basically, I would do the same thing with my family growing up and even recently. I would use stress as a way to avoid things with my family or even cancel plans. I would also stay in stress and stress myself out so that people wouldn't ask me to do things like chores around the house or helping them with something, like picking up my sister from school, whatever it was. I knew if I acted like I was stressed out, I could pretty much get out of doing anything. I pretty much turned to stress to get my way with everything. And if I didn't get my way, I would at least try. I would pull in the same emotions, pretending to be sad or angry or upset with myself. I could match up stress with the right emotion for each situation to get the desired outcome I was looking for. For example, if my mom wanted me to do chores or help her out with something, I would combine stress with frustration and anger. And I would tell her that I had so much homework to finish and I didn't know how I was going to get it all done. And it was stressing me out and I couldn't imagine doing anything else until I get my homework done. And then she would say, oh, don't worry about doing the chores. You just get your homework done and relax. And so I used the stress as a way to get exactly what I wanted. When it came to plans we had as a family, like going out to eat or going to see my grandma, if I didn't want to go, I'd use stress to get out of it. I'd use the stress and then tie it to something that I had to get done as a technique. Usually work or schoolwork when I was in school. So I'd say, guys, I really can't make it. I'm stressing out about all this work I need to get done, and I just need to get this done or I'm going to explode. When really I didn't have any work to get done. I just didn't want to be a part of their plans. I wanted to do my own thing and chill. So instead of just saying that, I would use these techniques with stress to get what I wanted. Wow, I can really see how this has played out in every part of my life. That's crazy to think about. I didn't even realize it at the time. And now I'm seeing where stress techniques played out at work as well. I used to use stress a couple ways around the office. I'd mainly use stress so I didn't have to do any extra work. I thought if I looked happy and like I was enjoying myself, then that would give people a reason to try and pile work on me. But if I looked like I was unhappy, angry, frustrated, stressed out because I had so much work to do, I knew no one would ask me to do any extra work because the energy I was putting off was telling people to leave me alone, basically. So every day I would purposely allow the stress to build up with the minuscule task I had to complete. There really wasn't much for me to do, but by appearing stressed out, I could ensure that no more work would be piled on me. I would also act stressed because sometimes it resulted in me getting sick days. My boss would see how stressed out I was and he would tell me to go home and take a few days off because I looked so stressed out. I would say no, I could keep working, pretending like I didn't want to take the days off, and then I would keep working. But I only did that to make it look like to my boss that I was a real go-getter and a hard worker, when really all I wanted was time off. I also acted stressed so that nobody would ask me for any favors. I didn't really like anyone at the office, and so I acted stressed on purpose so people would leave me alone and not ask me to do anything for them. I wasn't going to be one who just did everything for everyone. So instead of standing up for myself and speaking the truth, I chose to use stress to repel people instead of just telling them I didn't want to talk to them or help with any of their extra work. Another reason I used stress was to appear that I really cared about the job. I always made sure I looked extra stressed out when my boss walked by, because I knew looking stressed out would make it look like I actually cared a lot about the work I was doing. I would even bring questions to my boss about problems I already knew the answer to. I just wanted to ask my boss while appearing to be stressed out about it to make it look like I cared that much about solving the problem. When I really didn't care at all, I just wanted to appear that way so I could build up credit with him, so I could possibly get more sick days and bonuses in the future. It was never about operating for the benefit of the company. It was about operating for the benefit of me. Wow, can you believe that? Look at what I did at work. Instead of finding something I actually loved to do, I forced myself to be stressed out, which actually became real stress, just so I could appear like I loved what I did and so I wouldn't have to do any extra work. That is insane.